Welcome to Dolphin Dive Daily, your go-to spot for everything Miami Dolphins. If you bleed aqua and orange, hit that subscribe button and join the pod. The Miami Dolphins are facing a major setback just a week into their training camp, and the timing couldn't be worse. Cornerback Katakohu, one of the most promising young players on the team's defense, is now confirmed to be out for the entirety of the 2025 NFL season. According to ESPN's Adam Schefter, Kohu suffered a significant knee injury during practice last Saturday that will require an extensive recovery period, sidelining him for the year. This is devastating for a Dolphins secondary that was already reeling from the loss of Pro Bowler Jalen Ramsey, who was traded to the Pittsburgh Steelers earlier in the offseason. Additionally, Miami saw another key departure in safety, Jevon Holland, who left for the New York Giants in free agency. The cumulative effect of these moves leaves Miami's defensive backfield dangerously thin, heading into a season where expectations remain high despite the roster shakeups. Now, the pressure is mounting on the front office to make a move. That's where ESPN analyst Seth Walder's recent trade proposal comes into the picture. In light of Kohu's injury and the thinning cornerback depth, Walder suggests that the Dolphins should pick up the phone and call the Kansas City Chiefs with a simple offer: a 2027 sixth-round draft pick in exchange for cornerback Joshua Williams. Williams isn't just another depth piece. He's a two-time Super Bowl champion with playoff experience and flashes of high-end performance when given the opportunity, while the Dolphins don't currently look like a team trying to make splashy additions. Walder believes that this low-cost, low-risk move makes sense given their current needs. The logic behind the proposal is sound. Bolster a weak secondary with a player who understands winning culture and has held his own in one of the league's most competitive environments. And given Miami's precarious cornerback situation, even small upgrades could have a massive impact. To understand just how much of a loss Katakohu is for Miami, you need to look at the numbers he posted in 2024. The 26-year-old was coming off a career-best season where he demonstrated both consistency and growth in his role as a starting corner. Kohu was targeted 69 times and allowed just 45 receptions for 419 yards and 2 touchdowns. That translates to a passer rating of 79.3 when quarterbacks threw in his direction, easily the best of his career. These aren't just decent stats. They reflect a player who is reaching his prime and earning the trust of the coaching staff to lock down opposing receivers. It's difficult to overstate how important he was to Miami's scheme, particularly in man coverage and red zone situations. Replacing that kind of production with a mid-season pickup or practice squad elevation simply isn't realistic, which is why the Dolphins need to be proactive. Joshua Williams, while not a household name, has shown potential during his time with the Kansas City Chiefs, especially when he's been asked to step in for injured starters. In 2024, he appeared in all 17 regular season games, though he only started 6. Despite the limited starts, Williams turned in a quietly solid campaign. On 31 targets, he allowed just 16 completions for 160 yards and 1 touchdown. Quarterbacks had a 77.4 passer rating when throwing his way, a very respectable number. Additionally, he recorded 33 total tackles, 2 tackles for loss, and 6 pass breakups, further proving he's more than just a warm body on a depth chart. What makes Williams particularly intriguing is that he's only 24 years old and still playing under his rookie contract, meaning he has both upside and affordability. If given a larger role in Miami, there's a very real chance he could replicate or even exceed Kohu's output. For the Dolphins, the financial aspect of any potential trade must be considered carefully, especially with their current cap space limitations. According to recent cap projections, Miami has just $12.3 million in available cap space, ranking 28th in the league. That doesn't give them a whole lot of flexibility to absorb big contracts or add marquee free agents. Fortunately, Joshua Williams is still on his rookie deal, which makes him an appealing option. His 2025 cap hit sits at just $3/5 million, is well within Miami's financial capacity. This would allow the Dolphins to shore up a major area of concern without having to restructure current deals or make any other difficult roster decisions. Given that he's in the final year of his contract, it's also a relatively risk-free commitment. If he works out, Miami could explore an extension, and if not, they can move on without much consequence. From Kansas City's perspective, parting with Joshua Williams for a 6th-round pick might seem like a minor transaction, but it could make sense given their cornerback depth. The Chiefs have spent multiple draft picks in recent years, bolstering their secondary, and have found success with younger players like Trent McDuffie and Jalen Watson. That surplus could make Williams expendable, especially if they believe they can get value out of that 2027 pick. For the Dolphins, this is the type of savvy roster move that good teams make, identifying undervalued talent on other rosters and bringing them in to address immediate needs. Miami doesn't need Williams to be a Pro Bowler. They just need him to be solid and dependable. 2 traits he's already demonstrated in Kansas City. The trade would also give Williams a chance to earn a starting role and prove he's worthy of a long-term contract. The timing of this proposed move is also critical. Training camp is in full swing, and the longer the Dolphins wait to address their secondary issues, the harder it will be to integrate a new player into the system. Miami runs a complex defensive scheme under coordinator Anthony Weaver, and it takes time for any new cornerback to learn the playbook and build chemistry with safeties and linebackers. Getting Williams into the building now would allow him several weeks to get acclimated before the regular season begins. That's a luxury they won't have if they wait until mid-preseason, or worse, after suffering another injury. It's also worth noting that Miami has one of the most aggressive front offices in the league under general manager Chris Grier, who isn't shy about making bold moves. This trade wouldn't even be that bold. It's practical, cheap, and fills an urgent need. Fans have already begun to speculate online about what the Dolphins should do in the wake of Kohu's injury, and many seem to support the idea of bringing in a player like Joshua Williams. While there's always a level of risk involved when trading for someone who hasn't been a full-time starter, the Dolphins don't have the luxury of seeking perfection. What they need is depth, experience, and reliability. Williams brings all 3. He's played in big games, made plays under pressure, and never seemed overwhelmed by the moment. That kind of resume is invaluable in a young locker room trying to take the next step. With quarterback Tua Tagovailoa entering a crucial year, the last thing the Dolphins can afford is a leaky secondary that forces them into constant shootouts. Adding a player like Williams is a step toward maintaining balance and giving the team a fair shot at contending. Of course, there will be those who argue that the Dolphins should explore other options, perhaps a more high-profile free agent, or a blockbuster trade for a cornerback with Pro Bowl credentials. But in today's NFL, where the salary cap is tight and competition is fierce, smart teams win by making value plays. Joshua Williams is the kind of value play that could yield a high return. He doesn't need to be a superstar to make a difference. All he needs to do is hold his own, communicate effectively, and make plays when called upon. If Miami can get that kind of consistency out of him for the price of a future 6th-round pick, it would be a win by every measure. The alternative, standing pat and hoping for the best, just doesn't seem viable, not with the season fast approaching and the secondary already dangerously undermanned. In the end, the Dolphins are at a crossroads. The injury to Katakohu was a cruel twist of fate that threatens to derail the momentum they've built over the past few seasons. But it doesn't have to define their 2025 campaign. By acting decisively and bringing in a capable replacement, like Joshua Williams, they can stabilize their defense and send a message to the rest of the league that they're not backing down. The window to contend in the NFL is always short, and Miami still has the pieces in place to make a serious run. They just need to make the right moves to support their core, and this proposed trade is exactly that. A low-cost, high-upside transaction that could make all the difference between an average season and a playoff push. If the Dolphins are serious about winning now, the time to act is not tomorrow, it's today. Still with us? Then show some love. Hit that like button and let us know in the comments, what's your take on the Fins this week? Rumors have been swirling through the corridors of professional football as whispers suggest that the cherished safety of the Buffalo Bills might be destined for a surprising flight to the sunny shores of Miami. In recent murmurs among insiders and analysts alike, talk has emerged that this potential move could signal an unprecedented shift in the balance of power within the league. Some sources hint that behind closed doors, discussions have taken shape blending ambition with strategic insight as the Miami Dolphins seek to bolster their already fearsome defensive lineup. It is said that the allure of a fresh start in a new environment might have lured this talented defensive, back-triggering heated debates and speculative chatter across sports networks nationwide. The mere possibility of such a transfer has ignited excitement and anxiety in equal measure, leaving fans to wonder what remarkable changes might soon transpire on the gridiron indeed. The buzz intensifies as rumors now suggest that Derek Forrest, a standout performer known for his explosive plays, might be a key part of this controversial saga. Though details remain scarce, several insiders claim that preliminary negotiations have been underway, casting a shadow of uncertainty over the Bills' future roster configuration. The prospect of Forrest joining the Miami camp is generating a palpable air of intrigue as experts speculate on how his arrival could transform defensive strategies for the Dolphins. Conversations in locker rooms and heated exchanges among sports commentators reveal that every minute detail counts in this high-stakes speculation, and it appears that even minor adjustments could ripple through the league with extraordinary consequences. Amid this whirlwind of conjecture and anticipation, voices on social media echo the potential for dramatic turns in upcoming matchups, stirring a blend of excitement and apprehension among the fan base, creating waves throughout sports indeed. Speculation has reached a fever pitch among devoted football enthusiasts as the narrative surrounding this potential transfer continues to evolve unpredictably. Reports hint that the Dolphins' defensive strategies might receive a significant boost with the inclusion of a player whose performance for the Bills have reached commendable heights over recent seasons. Observers note that the shift in team dynamics could instigate a strategic overhaul, leading to an intensified display of athletic prowess and tactical innovation on the field. With the possibility of such a high-caliber signing, discussions have overflowed into sports analysis shows and passionate debates among longtime fans. The murmurs indicate that the Dolphins could be preparing for dramatic defensive reinforcements, a move that might unsettle opponents and rewrite conventional game plans. This unfolding scenario remains shrouded in uncertainty, with every new comment fueling further speculation and excitement across forums and news cycles, leaving experts eagerly awaiting confirmation. And now, inside sources reveal that if the transfer is indeed set in motion, the repercussions for the Bills could be severe, prompting a cascade of strategic recalibrations on and off the field. Observers suggest that losing such a defensive stalwart might force the Bills into rethinking their secondary approach, potentially opening opportunities for rival teams to exploit newfound vulnerabilities. Fans of the franchise are already buzzing on various platforms, dissecting every nuance of the rumor with a mixture of disbelief and pragmatic concern, as analysts predict that this decision could reshape the trajectory of the season. The cultural impact within the locker room is said to be profound, with seasoned veterans and emerging talents alike contemplating the potential loss as a catalyst for broader changes. While no official confirmation has been made, the speculative environment continues to intensify, leaving plenty of room for dramatic developments on the horizon, sparking further debates. Amidst the escalating chatter, insiders are emphasizing that the Miami Dolphins defense has taken on a reputation for instilling fear across the league, with whispers that their upcoming acquisition might further enhance this intimidating presence. Observers note that this newfound aura of menace is the result of innovative tactical adjustments and relentless pursuit of excellence, which have recently been honed by meticulous coaching and strategic planning. The proposed signing is said to be a natural complement to their high-energy style of play, promising to add both depth and versatility to a roster already known for dynamic defensive maneuvers. In locker rooms and sports talk radio alike, conversations swirl around the potential impact this change could have, as the anticipation builds around a defensive unit that seems determined to leave opponents reeling. This narrative continues to unfold in real time, generating an ever-growing interest among fans and critics alike beyond measure. As the rumor mill churns relentlessly, many experts are beginning to analyze the potential strategic ramifications for both teams involved in this high-profile scenario. Analysts are predicting that the departure of such a key defensive player from the Bills could leave a conspicuous void, one that the coaching staff might struggle to fill without incurring significant disruptions. Meanwhile, the Dolphins appear poised to capitalize on this uncertainty as whispers indicate that their front office is orchestrating an ambitious plan to secure this move amid fluctuating market dynamics. Every detail emerging from informal discussions and speculative press. Conferences is scrutinized by fan forums and media pundits alike, transforming every subtle comment into a piece of a much larger puzzle. The unfolding drama has become a captivating narrative, one that merges athletic performance with strategic mind games in a manner that is both unpredictable and immensely intriguing, energizing fans worldwide instantly truly. As conversations multiply and the pressure on team executives mounts, an undercurrent of uncertainty begins to stir among both supporters and seasoned critics. Coaches on both sides are rumored to be reevaluating long-held strategies, with many theorizing that the impending move could serve as a catalyst for a broader reshuffling of player roles and responsibilities. Some speculate that such a development might lead to heightened competition within training camps and more aggressive game day tactics as teams scramble to adjust to a shifting landscape of talent and ambition. The air is thick with conjecture, and every speculative report amplifies the anticipation permeating the sport's vibrant ecosystem. While the final decision remains cloaked in secrecy, the building tension suggests that pivotal changes could be on the horizon, altering the competitive balance and redefining expectations for the remainder of the season. Fans and analysts eagerly await what unfolds next in unprecedented sporting history. Market watchers and financial pundits have also joined the fray, scrutinizing the potential economic implications of this rumored transaction that could reverberate far beyond the gridiron. Reports indicate that such a high-profile move would not only shake team dynamics but also trigger lucrative shifts in endorsement deals, ticket sales, and merchandising opportunities. Analysts point to historical precedents where unexpected player movements have sparked multi-million-dollar ripples throughout the sports industry, causing investors and sponsors to reassess their commitments. Conversations surrounding salary cap, management, and contract renegotiations add an extra layer of complexity to the ongoing speculation, as even minor adjustments might unlock a cascade of financial recalculations for the involved franchises. In this charged environment of fiscal uncertainty, every new rumor is dissected with meticulous attention, fueling further debates about the true value of on-field talent and off-field commercial power, transforming the sports business landscape with unprecedented zeal and strategic vision. Looking back at previous seasons, longtime observers recall instances where unexpected player transfers created seismic shifts within the league, setting off chains of events that redefined team identities and fan loyalties. This current rumor is drawing parallels to those memorable moments as whispers of an imminent move for a prominent safety echo tales of surprise signings from eras past. Analysts compare the potential fallout from this deal to historical examples, where bold decisions reshaped competitive hierarchies, sparking both awe and apprehension among the sports community. The recollections of legendary moves serve to heighten the intrigue, fueling an atmosphere rich in both nostalgia and anticipation. Every mention of similar past events is meticulously analyzed, and the reverberations of such moves continue to resonate deeply within the collective memory of football aficionados, inspiring fresh debates and speculative projections about what may come next, leaving fans captivated and minds racing in thrilling suspense. In conclusion, the swirling rumor surrounding the potential departure of the Bills' safety for Miami has captivated the attention of fans, experts, and insiders alike, creating a storm of speculation and endless debate. The narrative, filled with uncertainty and possibility, embodies the very essence of the unpredictable nature of professional football, where every move is scrutinized and every decision can alter destinies. With whispers of strategic maneuvers, financial recalculations, and a seismic reshuffle in team dynamics, the drama is set to intensify as the season progresses. While official statements remain elusive, the persistent murmur within the sports community continues to fuel anticipation and imaginative analysis. As the fog of speculation thickens, one truth stands out: the world of football is as dynamic as it is enigmatic, leaving us all eagerly awaiting the next unexpected twist. This developing rumor continues to stir debate, uniting fans in a collective, unstoppable anticipation. Truly. That's a wrap for today's dive. If you're loving the content, share it with a fellow Dolphins fan, hit subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a splash. Fins up.